Hey everybody, it's Levi Clay and I'm back again with the Guitar Souls, Kendo, Mike from Party Cannon, eyebrows on fleek as always, Mild Wild Child Lyle Watt, and myself Levi Clay, and the lovely little Maltese Teddy, who's just going to chillax while we do this. We're going to play a game of 20 questions. I've got a guitar player in mind, and then I want you to try and work out who it is. Guys at home are going to try and work out who it is, and then at the end of it we're going to talk about that guitar player and see what we think about them. So, let's start with Lyle.
Is it a man?
Oh, snaked!
It is a man.
It's not Jennifer Batten. Fuck.
It's the only guitar player you know!
She plays guitar?
Apparently.
Okay. Do they play in a rock band?
Yeah, they're known for the rock thing.
Rock thing. 90s?
Bit before.
Okay.
Initially. Yeah. I just gave you a free answer there. Yes, they're still going.
Rock band, rock solo act. Well, rock band or rock solo act. Are they? Yes or
They've
no?
done both.
Okay.
Okay. So they're still going, rock band, just before the 90s, and they're still current. Do they play Fender?
No.
No. Are they quite virtuosic?
Yes.
If that's a term.
I mean, this guy plays like Kirk Hammett.
It must be Kirk Hammett because nobody plays like Kirk Hammett. He's got a pedal. Has he? It's the first guy who's done it. First guy.
Oh,
You heard the
dear.
year first, folks. Does he get abused as much as Kirk Hammett?
Aye. Take that as my question.
Not until recently.
Oh,
Oh.
So there's been some controversy.
Maybe.
Ah,
Okay. So just before 90s, has been solo in a band, still current, a man.
It's a man.
Famous for wearing Wellington boots.
I don't
It's
think
not
they
true.
are. It's not true, no.
Buckethead. No.
Okay. They don't play Fender. Do they play Gibson? Okay.
Oh. Hmm.
Do they have a signature guitar?
Yes. Which would be a nice thing for us to talk about.
There will be.
Hmm.
Is that the source of the controversy?
No.
Okay.
Do they have a signature guitar with Ibanez?
Yes.
Have you got it again?
He's not allowed to say until he gets back around to it.
Okay. Have they got a tour coming up in June?
No.
You don't? Okay.
Great question, that, because 5 years from now that'll be a relevant one, won't it?
It will be. It will be.
That's one that could change 5 years from now. Someone's like, but that guy does have a tour coming up in June.
Hopefully we're not all fell into the void by June 5 years from now.
A man can dream.
You can't dream, yes. Well, your void might be imminent, Lyle.
Cheers, Kendo. Yeah.
That's
Ever
a sexual
helpful.
innuendo. I know. You need to get your hole sometime.
I like the sexual innuendo.
Your void is imminent. Yes. So perverse. It's pretty good. I'm out of questions, man. Right, so
Are they
let's
Paul
go.
Gilbert?
They are.
Oh! It was one of the two. It was one of the two. I was good thinking.
It's because we're the same
Could have been
person.
Andy Timmons.
It could have been.
I
was
was
thinking.
Yeah, but they've not
We'll get there.
been getting a slagging lately. Andy Timmons has been getting a career revival.
See, I was thinking either Vi Timmons or Paul Gilbert.
Not Satriani?
No, funny enough, no. Because
No,
you
'cause
said
I would have been 80.
you said pre and band as well.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
band.
yeah.
Okay, so
I think Whitesnake.
this is why I was sort of like, let's talk controversy. It's not really controversy, right? But he's for many years, for well over a decade, he's had a degree of controversy among his fans in that he never seemed to make the music his fans wanted him to make. Infamous Racer X broke up, did the
Yeah.
Mr. Big thing, which people were fine with, started doing the solo thing, and it wasn't what his fans were expecting. And then he got the infamous email from Snakebite, from a forum user under the name of Snakebite, saying, you know, make a heavy metal album. Your fans want you to make a goddamn heavy metal album. I'm tired of all this pop shit you're doing. Make a heavy metal album. Reform Racer X. So he reformed Racer X, and that's where the song Snakebite on Technical Difficulties comes from. It's
Wow.
Did not know
it's
that.
about the
There you go.
Snakebite that wrote him that.
Spot the fanboy.
I know.
Spot Snakebite. The guy
Racer X
goes,
fan club member.
It was mistreated actually.
it was, so
Weak by gay transcriptions.
the reason it seems relevant now is because he, credit where credit is due, he's the only guy I can think of that's had a complete overhaul in his playing in his lifetime, in his career. He's a totally different player now to what he was. And I went to see him a few years ago, and I'm just bored. It's like, it's not what I want to see. I watched Thomas Lang and then left, because I don't want to watch Paul Gilbert play blues songs, like mountain covers and shit like that.
No.
I want to watch Paul Gilbert
Play Technical Difficulties.
be in Racer X and be a badass motherfucker. I want to watch Paul Gilbert wearing a spandex suit covered in dollar bills. I want to watch Paul Gilbert, wearing a suit made out of meat.
Pull a drill out and attack his guitar with that three-sided plectrum.
Just being an absolute madman. And I think he's moved away from that direction. But what do you think about that? How do you feel about his current direction? And
I think the last album he'd done that I liked was Spaceship One.
That
it's
was
a
a
long time
belter.
ago.
It was.
So
It was
that's
awesome.
Six.
That's even
Marco
before-
Minor playing drums on that, who,
Yeah.
funnily enough, played on The Raven that refused to sing.
Yeah, so that's before he even did an instrumental album. Get Out of My Yard was after that.
Yeah.
So you've never been a fan of any of his instrumental stuff?
Oh, Spaceship One was an instrumental album, was it not? No, there was a lot of singing on it,
No.
actually.
Get out of my yard.
I don't
is
think Get Out of
cool.
My Yard, to be fair.
The song Spaceship One is a vocal song.
Sure.
Yeah.
Spaceship One just rules.
Castle Dragon? Is that the right?
Castle Dragon is on.
That's
Get
on
My
Get My
Yard.
Yard, that's good. Like that.
I love Hurry Up.
Yep.
That's a brilliant tune. Paul Gilbert, again, is one of those guys who was one of my first.
Heroes.
Well, it's not heroes, but one of I suppose one of my biggest influences in that I had Intense Rock 1 when I was about 10 or 11. And I sat there and went for ages. And it's still there, the Paul Gilbert stuff's still there. And Paul Gilbert is another guy who, even though he's a shredder, has phrasing and now has tone. And
I always put that down to him as the limit. Shredders like Rusty Cooley, who I find impressive, they go past what you think of as the speed barrier, in that Paul Gilbert has that, but he's right on the line. If you go faster than Paul Gilbert, in order to go faster than Paul Gilbert, you have to remove dynamic variation from your playing.
Yep.
The cool thing about Paul is you don't have and you've got all those really cool ballsy accent patterns in what he does. So it always just sounds so, it's like a just madman going for it. And especially when he mixes the picking and the legato thing.
It's a person playing it, it's not like a robotic lick that's come from a synthesizer.
one thing I've noticed was when we were talking about Guthrie earlier, and how Guthrie has, again, phrasing and attitude in his playing, and a command of rock guitar basics really, but because they're based in rock. And the thing that Paul Gilbert has and Guthrie Govan has is they've all got a knowledge of classic rock and old rock players. Like some of Paul Gilbert's biggest heroes are like Robin Trower and Leslie West, and one of Guthrie Govan's biggest heroes is Zal Clemenson, an Alex Harvey band, an old classic rock player who, that's something they've all got. A lot of guys like Rusty Cooley and shredders like that don't really have that.
Yeah.
They started with shrapnel and went from there.
Yeah.
So they've got
That's a good point.
chops.
Michelangelo Battio, nothing else.
Exactly, that's where they
Give you
started.
the keys to the Lamborghini. So
Oh, good point. Yeah. I don't know. Do you know what? It's,
Hands without shadows, I heard.
apparently the Japanese call him that.
yeah.
Bullshit.
It's funny you say
I've
that.
seen Michelangelo Battio, that is definitely his own hair, he must have the receipt.
No, it's funny you said you started it off with the kind of the snakebite thing and how he's been the fans reached out, but we've almost kind of dissolved into the way that we've been speaking about his music and everything like that, and it's almost we've came full circle and doing exactly the same as what that guy said. Paul, play the music people want to hear.
Yeah.
And I know you're saying that his phrasing's got better and tone's got better and maybe his taste has changed, etc. But we need to be realists here. At the end of the day, fans are just not digging his stuff. They're just not digging his game.
Fans,
If they did-
fans are expecting a different
You
thing.
know-
I like the fact that Paul Gilbert has never made the same album twice.
Yep.
Well, the first couple of albums he made, the rock pop thing, and I think they're brilliant. I love
Yeah.
Alligator Farm.
Yeah.
That's got some quality tunes on it. And if you haven't heard Alligator Farm, the last tune, the ballad, is the Ballad of the Lost
Ballad of the
Lions,
Lost Lions,
Last
yeah.
Lions, whatever
Yeah.
it is.
That's crazy.
The outro on that,
Yeah.
3 minutes of going round each chord.
Well,
It's-
that's also got let the computer
decide.
on it,
It's
which
got-
is
Yeah.
That's a
Well, I was
crazy
going to
one.
say,
It's
how
a
much
brilliant album.
expectancy does he have living in Japan? Has he got up
he
like?
doesn't live in Japan.
Did he not live in?
No, Mike
Japan?
Friedman of Japan.
I
No,
thought-
Paul
I
Gilbert
thought he
did
had-
live in
I
Japan
thought
for
he lived in
years.
Japan as
He
well.
was there for a couple of months. I
No, he
believe.
lived-
I'm
lived
pretty
in
sure
Japan
he
for a
was
few
influenced in
years.
Japan. I might be wrong, but I know Marty Freeman was caught up with a
I'm
J-pop
relatively
thing.
confident he didn't.
Did he not? Yeah.
No.
I
We'll
always
check
thought-
that, and I will.
What a surprise,
I'm
you and I
positive-
disagree.
I thought there was a link to Japan somewhere, and I thought
He's married
maybe,
to a Japanese woman.
right. Okay, so there is a potential that he has spent time in Japan.
Yes.
You know.
He's,
And then-
he's massively popular.
And I was going to
He's
say,
obviously
has he
toured
not
there
got a
lot.
big audience over there?
Yeah.
And does then the culture and then the way that the music sounds there, does that not maybe influence him as well?
Well,
and,
it's
you know,
That's
interesting.
done
when
that Boku Yo Natano.
Yeah, Boku Tama.
Fucking on time, that's one.
Yeah.
Because that was him trying to learn the language. Like, you can't live out there if you don't speak the language of it.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Have you ever heard the lyrics of that song translated?
Yes.
They're just nonsense.
Yeah, they are. And that's the beauty of it. So, referencing what you're talking about, and somebody that obviously has lived in Japan, and talking about music styles.
Yeah.
Marty Friedman. When I interviewed Marty, I talked to him about the music he makes now versus the music he made in the past.
Yeah.
And he said the reason he still lives in Japan and loves living in Japan is that all music is accepted. You can release an album and it can have a heavy metal song on there, and it can have a pop song and then a country song, and it's all treated equally. They don't distinguish genres as much.
Yeah.
So I think that must be part of the reason why Paul Gilbert has done what he's done for so long, and it not really mattered, because Japan are going to eat up what he makes no matter what he does.
Yeah.
Which is cool. Don't get me wrong. I have you heard Gilbert Hotel?
Yeah.
An acoustic.
Yeah.
There's some really cool stuff in
Acoustic
that.
and vocal, and
There's
it's
a
great vocals.
Brilliant version of The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway,
Yeah.
the Genesis tune. That's ridiculous.
There's not a version of that, like an actual full electric one on one of the albums as well.
Yeah.
Maybe. I'm not
Sure, there's. I'm sure it's actually on.
Is another
Well,
thing I
like a
like
farm or
about
something.
Paul Gilbert is that he doesn't take himself seriously.
Yeah.
Again, you know,
I remember
is
his
it-
website used to be so funny.
Aye, he used to build his own websites and they were just garbage and they were hilarious.
Yeah.
He's got an acoustic version of Dancing Queen on one of his albums.
Yeah.
I mean,
Acoustic Ninja.
yep.
Yeah.
He's done Spice Girls covers with Led Zeppelin riffs and Black Sabbath solos.
That's the
and-
three become one.
I
That
know.
one, isn't it?
Aye.
And if I throws
So,
in
I think you should throw the plectrum away, tap the neck 3 times, and then pull a rabbit right out.
I remember that. I was actually thought like that because I borrowed Intense Rock 1 from a guy in a shop who I'd made friends with. He was like, you need to go home and watch this, but bring it back tomorrow. And I'm like, okay. So I sit down and I watch Intense Rock 1 with a notebook, and I'm writing down all the tabs of everything he's doing.
Such
And
a
he gets to the guitar trick, his first guitar trick, and I'm like, okay, cool, right, taking notes, and I've got my guitar, and he's like, right, first throw the pick away. I'm like, okay, throw the pick away. And then this hand does this, and I'm like, okay, I can do that. And he's like, now reach up, and I'm like, oh no, I've been totally fooled by it. Oh, I'm totally going to cut that in there so you can see it. Classic. But let's get onto the subject of signature guitars then, because he's probably had more than any other Ibanez artist.
Yeah, well, I was going
Yeah.
to say that. The last album I listened to of his was the one that came with the animation, and I think that was about the time when he had that. I might be completely wrong, but that was about the time when it was popular, or his main guitar was that kind of Iceman that was turned
the
round.
fireman.
Fireman.
Fireman's, yeah, and
That Fuzz Universe.
yeah. I can't remember. It was like it was animation with him shooting. I'm guessing robots, aliens, whatever it was, with him doing that stuff on the guitar. That was the last album I really listened to, and after that, I'll be honest, I switched off to Paul.
Yep.
I kind of got the stuff I like, and then there's new Paul. Yeah, but signature guitars.
Thoughts? You a fan?
Absolutely. I love it. It's so basic. It's an RG with painted on F-holes.
But his signature guitars aside, just signature guitars in general, are you a fan?
Of
Is something
them.
you're trying to avoid, or
How do you mean?
would you buy one?
Would I buy one?
Signature guitars.
If I get a good price for it, probably.
Yeah.
Well, I think so. I like the RG shape. I like 24 frets. Ibanez stuff's usually well built. The PGM's not being
But
much of an
again,
exception.
not just his ones. Signature guitars.
I've
in
seen
general.
in general.
In general, yeah.
Depends on the model. I wouldn't buy it because it's got someone's name on it.
Okay.
I'd buy it if I liked the guitar. Like
Yep.
Jake Bone
Snap.
from Peripheries. His Ibanez at the moment, the black one with the gold hardware, beauty.
Yeah.
But I would not pay £2.5 for it just because it says Jake Bone on it.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
You've done videos about this before. People listen with their eyes,
Yes.
Yes.
and I honestly couldn't give a crap what it is. If it's a good guitar, then I want it. If it's a bad guitar, I don't want it. It could have Herman Lee written on it, and that would not put me off buying it.
Okay.
I don't care. Like a signature, I don't get the point either of a signature guitar. I don't.
Well, because they absolutely
Marketing
do
and
have.
sales.
They
Yeah,
do
exactly.
generate sales. They
Yeah.
work on me. Even if it's not a signature guitar, like I'm heavily influenced by the guitars that my heroes play, and every guitar, apart from
yeah.
my Vigiers that I got because I wanted to move away from that, every guitar I've ever bought has been to be like someone else.
Danny
So this
Gatton,
one, I've
anybody?
turned this one into Danny Gatton, a little Danny Gatton guitar, and I've got like my Brent Mason one upstairs, and I'm gagging to get like a Paisley Telly with a G bender in it to be like Brad Paisley. And
Well, it's funny you say that because I just bought a black Strat with the intention of doing it up with white pickups, white control knobs, so it looked like Dave Gilmour's Strat, because Dave Gilmour is
See,
my hero above all. So, yeah.
go on, Kenny.
I'm just the opposite.
Yeah.
I like to paint my own way. I don't like signature guitars. I just don't like them. I've hated them for years. I just look at them and I think it's beyond tacky. I like having heroes. I like emulating your heroes. I like, I get the idea, but I used the example the other day with somebody like, would you go out tomorrow and buy the new Vauxhall Insignia because it said Lewis Hamilton on it? Would you? Would you go and do that? Would you buy the new Chevrolet Saloon because Jason Plato is carved right up the side of it? If I could fit a 12 fret marker right in the window of that car and say Jason Plato on it, I need to get the Jason Plato model. It's something that's I just think it's bad taste. I've never liked it.
It
Can I throw a spanner in the works?
Yeah, throw one. Yeah.
Why do you want the Friedman that Jerry Cantrell's got his name on and not just a normal Friedman then? What's the difference?
Sound, just the
Yeah.
sound.
It's
Sound,
in his
you know?
defence, I know he doesn't want it because it says Jerry Cantrell. In fact,
I hate
I
that.
know that you hate that.
I would try and find a way to scribe that off and put my own bloody initials on it. It's my man. I've got that. I like to pave my own way. I've got we all do it. We all buy our own clothes. We all do the way. We all look the way we do. I just think I don't want. He's famous for that. I'm going to find out what I'm famous
But
for. I'm going to do that.
There's also no denying that we are, we don't live in a vacuum. We're influenced by everything we see, hear, everything around us. Why not just embrace that because it's unavoidable?
Yeah, but I don't
I
want to
like
be the
that you
guy.
can push your influences
Nah.
away. That's cool.
I don't want to be the guy that's standing there and go, oh great, oh you got a Dave Gilmour, oh I've got a Dave Gilmour, oh that guy's got a Dave Gilmour, oh right, well there's 20 Dave Gilmours in the room and we're standing here together with a Dave Gilmour shoes, ties, whatever, blah blah blah, and guitars. We are the
Fucking
coolest guy
calm
in the
yourself.
world.
I was
Maybe
just
been a
asking a
song
question.
I'm just we've all been
Dave
assimilated.
Gilmour guitar dressed up
Yeah.
like Guthrie Govan
Do
at
you know what?
Halloween.
That's a very good point.
It's
It is a
Halloween.
Borg it's like a
I-
Borg and simulate, the masses with signature gear. I'm just not a fan. I'd rather be the guy that stands on the outside and go, right, you all have your signature models. I've got the thing that's unique to me that I'm bloody happy with.
Do you think that maybe though
Cat
there's a
cabinet
degree of I know you love Les Pauls.
Yeah.
You don't love Les Paul. You don't want a Les Paul that someone's played. But
No.
is there a degree of I love Les Pauls because they're iconic? Because I've seen so many Les Pauls, they look cool.
Yeah, there is a kind of cool things about them. I play Les Pauls who love the sound of them. I like beefy guitar. I'm a big dude. I like a guitar that's got a bit of weight to it. These thin Chris Packett. I mean, the one that comes to mind, like an S series Ibanez thing. I remember the first time I had. I think was it you or one of our other friends had one.
Gillen.
Yeah, one of our friends, Gillen's got one, and I just remember picking it up and going, "What's this? This is like a Chris Packett with
Snaps
pickups
under your
in it."
fingers.
It just felt. I feel like a guitar's made of wood. It should feel like there's a presence there. Like tellies, I just think that's why I like Les Pauls, and there's a great beefy sound off them.
Try
They
playing
look
3.5
great,
hours a night, 4 nights a week with a guitar like that strapped around your shoulder, and you'll tell a different story.
No.
Try getting some muscle.
I know. I'm 17 stone. Yeah. I'm
Well,
good at it,
Fuck
yeah.
you.
I don't know. It's
All that
signature
muscle
guitar.
you've got going
Yeah.
on here.
I've eaten
I
a
could-
lot of muscles.
I could go on. I think, even that is like, say, especially in modern times where it's like the done thing. If you've got to that stardom, right, I've made it as a guitar player, what's the next step? I need to get a signature guitar and put a beautiful crafted logo on the 12th fret of whatever, like, mad logo that I can
I've
think
just cut
of.
in your favourite signature
Oh,
guitar right there.
Oh,
stamp.
The Buster
the
B.
tramp
Jones
stamp, yeah.
signature
just-
right down the fretboard.
I
Now
just
that
think,
would put me off buying.
Why have they never been tasteful with it? Why can't they just do a really nice signature in the nut cover or something like the bell cover?
Well, here's
You
a
know,
question.
Just
I'll-
a way, just
I'll go with that.
and then somebody can change it if they don't want it. I like the guitar. I don't really want people to know it's a signature. Or I'm not really a fan of it. I can change it. I can take it off and replace it.
Yeah, I will go with that. If it's
Yeah.
a glaringly obvious signature guitar, that puts me off.
It does. Puts
Like
me
a
off.
PGM.
Yes, I'll be honest.
I've
Yes.
owned 2 of them.
Yep.
The 100, blue and pink, beautiful.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
the 400, which is red and gold.
I wouldn't own a PGM
Okay.
simply because I don't like them.
Okay.
But the fact that they are so obviously somebody's signature model is a bit of the thing. Tasteful signature models I don't mind. Like even the Herman Lee one, the only real giveaway is that it's got his claws in it.
But let's go
You
into the
know.
next part that also annoys me about signature guitars is that when you've got
We've
it.
got him started. He's away.
Oh, I hate them so much. If you've got, you talked about in the last thing we were talking about Guthrie governing because he's a sewer player. If somebody brings a sewer out, it's like, oh, I know what I'm going to get.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
it's like
That's
signature
why I stopped playing
guitars.
them.
Signature guitars are like if you brought a PG, if you brought a Paul Gilbert model out, they're going to go, yes, 3 note per string, beauty. I'm in here. Yeah,
You're going
this
to
is
know what you
exactly.
sound like
Wait a
before
minute,
you play like it.
Poster's played jazz on that guitar. Get him off the stage.
I mean, I play
I hate
Strats.
it. Can't
It's
stand
dangerous. It's dangerous because if you do it, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how good you are at what you do. You could have a PGM and you could play jazz on it fantastically.
Yeah.
Or play rock on it badly. You're always going to be compared to Paul Gilbert.
it. Correct.
And I don't just mean aesthetically. I mean your sound. People are going to go, "This sounds good," but how does it sound compared to Paul Gilbert, who's obviously a massive influence on the guy? That's why I had to move away from it. The Surs, at least.
Yeah.
Because people would just go, "Oh, you like Guthrie, do you? Oh, I bet
You're
you're,
just-
bet
you're
you're a
so
great player, aren't you?"
Yeah.
And it's like,
No, you're
no, I'm
not.
terrible. No, I'm awful.
Imagine the young guy that goes down with his Angus Young SG and is the old boy in the pub going, "Oh, you're an absolute dancer in some rock right now," and he pulls out his gent band and he's playing lots of gent on his detuned Angus Young SG, and then straight away your audience is what? I'm confused. I'm sure that said AC/DC on that guitar, or that's the one. Is that not the one Angus Young plays? It's that guitar, isn't
It's
it?
back to people listening with their eyes again.
And do you know what? And because of that, I've just the whole signature thing can just go and run a
Do one.
Yeah.
I
it's not
like,
me.
I like the way you
There's
tried to
quite-
keep
yeah.
that nice.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, no, I could just go and run a fuck.
It's
He's done it to Duncan Bannatyne.
I'm not really. Yeah,
Get it
I'm
right
just
round
out.
you.
I'm out. I'm done with it. I could go on. I could expand, but I've already burned too much daylight. It's horrible. I can't stand signature guitars. If there was a way of making them
Haven't you got a
discreet,
Batman signature though?
The Dark Knight.
yeah, there's a picture of Adam West scribed into the back of it, but that's a personal thing. It's nothing to do with
You
signature.
put that there.
Right, yeah.
There's a shrine, no scribe.
Yes, there is. I have many pictures of Catwoman. Doesn't matter.
So yeah, Lyle's right. Like you have to listen with your ears, not your eyes. It's very hard to let that be the case.
Sorry, did you just say I'm right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think if it was my point, he elaborated. But
Yeah.
carry on.
It's something
We're
I've
both
tried to stay
right.
away from. I've tried and tried and tried, but I just find it next to impossible to avoid. I watch a guitar player play, like I was watching some Daniel Donato videos, and I was
Yeah.
like, man, this guy's really cool. 24 hours later, I bought a Seaframe Green Telecaster, and it wasn't for any reason other than watching someone play a cool guitar. I go, that's a really cool guitar. I'd love to get something like that one day. It's not a signature model, and I could show it to 100 people, and they'd never go, "Oh, nice Daniel Donato guitar."
Exactly.
But that was the influence. It came from that. I'm heavily influenced by my heroes. I'm every salesman, every marketing man's dream. But we're going to have to cut that one short there, guys, because we are out of time for today.
Boo.
Signature guitar stuff or signature gear to be continued. You're not done with yet.